Welcome. So, you're trying to build an amazing tech team. You already know that finding the right Java developer can feel like looking for a needle in a haystack, right? Well, today, we're going to hand you a magnet. We're going to walk through a super clear, step by step guide to finding the exact talent who's going to build and drive your most important projects.
Look, we all get it. Searching for top tech talent is demanding. And let's be honest, it can be pretty frustrating. So, with all the competition out there, how do you actually find, vet, and bring on board a truly great Java developer? Let's break that down.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll get into why Java is so critical and what makes it so powerful. Then we'll build out a checklist of the skills you absolutely need to look for. After that, we dive into the practical stuff, a step-by-step hiring guide, a look at what matters beyond the technical interview, and finally, how to make that perfect hire.
So, before we jump into the how, let's really lock in the why. Why is this specific skill set always in such high demand? Well, it's because Java developers are quite literally at the heart of innovation in pretty much every industry you can think of.
I mean, Java's footprint is just everywhere. It's powering the Android apps on your phone. It's running the massive back-end systems that our entire digital world depends on. It's the engine behind cloud computing and big data, and it's what connects the Internet of Things. You've got major financial institutions trusting it for security, e-commerce giants relying on it for, well, reliability, and it's the backbone of huge enterprise apps in fintech, healthcare, you name it. So how on earth did Java get so big? It really all comes down to this simple but incredibly powerful core idea, a principle that was a total game changer and really defined its success. Write once, run anywhere. Now, that's not just some catchy marketing slogan, it's the absolute foundation of Java's power. It means that code written in Java can work smoothly on tons of different platforms without having to be rewritten every single time. It's like a universal language that almost any computer can understand right out of the box. So, what does that actually mean for your project? Well, for starters, it means platform independence, so you're not locked in to just one system. It means you get high reliability and scalability, so your app can grow as your business grows. Its object-oriented design gives you clean, reusable code, which saves a ton of time and cuts down on errors. And because of this huge ecosystem of libraries and massive community support, development is way faster and you're never really stuck trying to solve a problem alone. Okay, so now we know why we want them. Let's get practical. What exactly should you be looking for? Let's build a handy checklist of the essential skills any great Java developer has to have. Let's break down the key technical stuff. First off, obviously, is core Java proficiency. We're talking a deep understanding of the language itself and its object-oriented principles. They've got to be familiar with common libraries and APIs for things like networking. And since almost every application deals with data, solid SQL database skills are totally non-negotiable. Experience with modern frameworks like Spring is crucial for building things efficiently. And finally, a good grasp of web technologies like HTTP is key for making sure everything connects and talks to each other.
All right, you've got your checklist. Now for the main event, the actionable how-to guide. Let's walk through the entire process, from the moment you write the job post all the way to welcoming your new hire to the team.
Here it is, your 8-step path to success. It starts with prep work, really defining your needs, and then crafting a job description that actually gets people excited. Then comes the evaluation phase, sourcing candidates, screening them, doing the technical interviews, and just as important, assessing cultural fit. And finally, you move into the hiring phase, making a great offer, and, this is so key, making sure their onboarding is smooth. Let's just zoom in on a couple of these steps because they're so important. That job description, that's your first pitch. Don't just list a bunch of skills. You have to showcase what makes your company a fantastic place to work. Talk about your culture, your values, and the really cool projects they're going to get to be a part of. Another critical filter is that pre-screening interview. Now, this is not the time for deep technical questions. This is a conversation. It's your chance to understand what really motivates a candidate, to see how they communicate. It helps you see the actual person behind the resume. And that brings us to an absolutely crucial point. A successful hire is about so much more than just their ability to write code. You have to assess the whole candidate, looking way beyond just the technical interview. It really boils down to this. Hard skills are the what. It's what they can do. Java, SQL, all that good stuff. But soft skills? Soft skills are the how. How do they work in a team? How do they communicate ideas? How adaptable are they? Honestly, this is just as important, sometimes even more so for long-term success. And all of this leads to evaluating for cultural fit. Basically, you're trying to figure out if this person can really gel with your team and align with your company's values and how you all work. Because remember, a brilliant coder who disrupts the entire team dynamic is not a successful hire. So, you've found someone with the right hard skills, the right soft skills, and they seem like a great cultural fit. Awesome. Now it's time to actually bring them on board. Let's cover the final steps to really building out your team successfully. Okay, sealing the deal. It takes a few key actions. You've got to make a competitive offer that's in line with market rates and be totally transparent about the salary and benefits. But please don't stop there. Plan an effective onboarding process so their first few weeks are great. And think about assigning them a mentor or a buddy to help them settle in and really feel like part of the team from day one. Ultimately, this is all about reframing how you see this whole process. When you hire professionals, you're not just finding talent, you're crafting a future for your projects. Hiring isn't just a transaction, it's a huge, pivotal investment in your company's future. So, with these strategies and insights, you are now totally ready to go out there and build that dream team. The only real question left is, who will you hire to build your future?